Okay, next video. This one's going to be all about recall, one of the really important life skills for Barney to learn. An absolute joy if you're out and about with your dog and you know that they've got a reasonable recall. I don't think any dog is ever 100% because they're not robots, they're living creatures. But if you're fairly certain that he's keen to come back to you and he's had a good conditioning of a recall cue, word, noise, we'll talk about them in a minute, it's so much nicer for him. You know, he gets the freedom to run around and exercise and, you know, sniff and do things that dogs like doing. So the nice thing is that recall training can start literally sitting in an armchair, because all we're doing is pairing a word, a noise, a cue, whatever you want to call it, that just means you're going to get some good stuff. He's probably already cottoned on to noises, I don't know, like the fridge opening, or somebody opening a bag of crisps, or his food coming out of the cupboard, and he's probably already there with you when he hears those noises, because he's associated those noises as a predictor of something good. So all we've got to do is exactly the same, but with a word of some description. So come or here are the sort of logical ones, but you can think of whatever you want. Something that isn't his name is just simply as our names are. You know, if you said Kay, I'd be, yes, what? It wouldn't necessarily mean, you know, you want me to walk off in your direction. It's just an attention grabber. So we need a word. Mine, I won't say it too loud, so I'll show you how to do it in a minute, is H-E-R-E. And all we're going to do is every time I say the word, they're going to get a bit of tasty hot dog sausage. Hopefully these two know that cue already, but you know, it's lovely for them when I get to make these sort of videos, because it just reinforces the whole time this word means good stuff. So really straightforward. So without letting them up, we've got some nice stuff. Ready, kids? Here. So you can see it's a nice happy tone. Here. And it just pricks the food. What we need to get to, it's almost a kind of head jerk reaction. They hear that word, they're not going to stop looking at me now. Here. And you need to try and say it. Imagine, you know, if it was a whistle or something like that, it's the same tone every time. Of course, if you've got more than one family member working with the dog, each of you needs to condition it, because even if the word's the same, you'll say it slightly differently. You know, even the same person, you know, you can put a lot of emotion into a word and say it in lots of different ways. So you can see mine's quite high pitched and almost 2 syllables. So that's, you know, the way that I want to keep that consistent. So whenever I say here, that's what they get. Not particularly asking them to move towards me at this stage, it's just hearing the word. So let's say we did want to add a little bit of distance. So I've had to set this up and get rid of them. So they're the other end. And here. Yes, good boy, good girl. You can see as soon as they're coming to me, they're getting the reward. Here you go, have some spare bits. They're getting the reward straight away. I'm not nagging them to sit or anything like that. I just want them to end up with me. And you'll also see that I'm feeding them, when I say the word, really close. Here. I'm bringing them right the way in. So even though we might sort of invite the recall with lovely open arms, you want to make sure that when you deliver your reward, he's really close to you. Or another nice game, dogs really like sniffing, so what we could do is pair it with here, and put some food on the floor, and then that just gives you that time just to handle, maybe clip the lead back on, finger in a collar, you know, rather than it be let's try and grab him as he comes past us, or feeding your dog out here. You'll teach a lovely recall that means I want you to stop arm's length where I just can't quite get the lead back onto you, and they learn that really quickly. So all rewards end up nice and close. It's a brilliant game if you've got more than one family member who's prepared to help you. So let's say if it's the 3 of you, or when your daughter's around, standing in a square, a triangle, or just with 2 of you. And again, just to condition the noise that it's the same whoever says it. So let's say you know, you've got your triangle of people, one person's got him, next person, Barney, here, or whatever you, sorry Dora, got to feed her now, whatever your word is, and then calling him across the triangle. They'll be running from one to the other, hearing the word, you know, chasing, that sort of thing. So that's really good fun. If it's something, say, that you were doing on your own, we do this a lot in classes. We need to make a bit of distance between dog and me, so I'm going to put a bit of food on the floor. Rich, here. Make a bit of a getaway. Here. Run. Chase. Ready? Here. So trying to stay in camera shot as well, which isn't very easy. Here. So what should be happening, if it was longer, one end of the garden to the other, they're eating something. As soon as they look up, let them eat it. That's the important bit. As soon as they look up, run. All dogs like chasing. He's probably already got this chase and follow instinct going on at the moment anyway, because youngsters do, which is why this is ideal. To try and do this obviously where it's safe originally, but try and get it out and about as soon as you can, so that he's getting these experiences of good stuff coming from you, whilst he's probably got that I want to follow and be with you instinct anyway. If you leave it too late, as soon as they hit that adolescent phase, that's when they start to get a bit braver. So you want to get as much of this training in the bag while he's little, and he's probably going to want to follow and be with you anyway. Other things that you can use, we've usually got things in pockets. Your whistles are great. I've got one, yeah, there we go. This is a gun dog whistle. You get them on Amazon. I think it's Acme that make them. The nice thing with these, nothing particularly to do with gun dogs, is that you buy them a certain pitch, I think it's like 210, 211. Get yourself a supply so that if you do lose one, you've got plenty, all the same tone. Again, it's nice that whichever family member, whoever blows it, it's the same. Try and think of what you want. So it could be peep peep or one long peep. I know gun dog people have very specific tones that mean a particular thing. One means sit and two means something else. It's not my sport, so I don't know. But as long as you're consistent with two peeps, bit of food, two peeps, bit of food, before you know it, whenever you blow two peeps, he'll be legging it towards you. The other one as well, this sounds a bit strange, I've got lots of people in my class all buying these at the moment, is, where's it gone? We lost it. It's the squeaker outside of from inside a squeaky toy. No, rummaging, haven't got it. You can either disembowel a toy to get it, or you can actually buy them, the little plastic squeaks. What you'll find with that, probably as soon as you squeak it, he'll be, oh, what's that? Because it's already got an association with something fun, it's play, it's in a toy. But then if you pair that again with some sort of high value food, they're a really, really good go-to. I kind of use those as my sort of emergency recall, when you've got in those situations where maybe the temptations are even greater. I don't use it as my everyday one, but it's my sort of special, have that, hopefully have that in my pocket, not today as it turns out, and usually they just can't resist coming legging it back for that. So make this fun. Best saying ever, I've pinched it from somebody else, can't remember who. Recall shouldn't be the end of something good, it should be the start of something fabulous. They do get wise that we're out on a walk, we normally recall when, I don't know, maybe we've seen another dog and we want to call them back, or you've spotted livestock somewhere, or it's simply the end of the walk. So usually coming back to you means you're going to put the lead on and they're going to be restrained, whereas you should take the opportunity to just practice loads and loads of recall while you're out. Maybe sometimes clip the lead on, sometimes don't. So the reward quite often for coming back is that the walk's going to carry on, having got a big reward from coming back to you. So have some fun with that. Want to see some nice videos of Barney chasing you guys around. It needs to be that way around, not the other way around. So he's chasing you, he's always catching you, and he's always getting a big reward. Most importantly, he's hearing his recall cue word while all that's happening. So I hope that makes sense, and do let me know how you get on. Okay, thank you guys.